and Rayman over there, who's been in bed really sick for a couple of days, but she's dragged herself out today because she pretty much saved her life juicing raw cannabis, which has got a huge future. And no one's really touched on it much in Australia, and she's got a great story to tell. So, is the juicer working? Maybe. I think we've also got a hemp seed oil juicer out there to juice hemp seed. I think it's an American thing and they haven't got the right power switch. So outside under the tree out there, there'll be all that juicing. But Radik's going to talk for a moment now. He's grown up in a herbalist household, been extracting oil for longer than I've been in Nimbin, which is ages probably. So his experience is really unique. And one more quick thing, Steve, I really want to thank Steve. He's going to be out there, and I've chopped him off. Well, I've got too many good talkers. So, Dave?
Yeah, I'm just letting everyone know lunch is ready, so I'm not sure how it's fitting in, but...
People who have ordered lunch should maybe go and get it now down at the cafe. If anyone who's ordered it, good on you. And now some very clever people set up a Facebook site a few years ago called North Coast RDT Locations. There's about 20,000 members now, and if you go to this Facebook site, they will be telling you where the police are in the area right now. It's an amazing website to have. Here's the cards of the website. If you're on Facebook, you should get hold of it.
There is a Gold Coast equivalent too.
Here it is. North Coast RDT Location.
And there's a Gold Coast RDT location.
And here, thanks again to Steve. And here's Radik, just to tell you a little bit of what he'll be doing out there. And Rayman doesn't have to talk now, but she'll be out there too to talk about her juicing. This is a really specialist game, so worth you going out there. Get lunch, have a wee, get a drink, have a smoke if that's what you're doing, and we'll all come back in here in like 40 minutes or something like that. But Radik's going to tell you a bit first.
Greetings. Thanks a lot for coming along and to learn about how to make medicines out of cannabis. My dad, he's a retired herbalist, right, and I just grew up with him teaching me how to make all different kinds of medicines from many different kinds of herbs. And it was about 1995 I realised cannabis was a herb. Before that I thought it was a drug just like everybody else. And so I started making medicines out of cannabis, and it's just amazing how many different medicines you can make. Okay, so, yes please, bring that over. So I'm going to do, and it's very quick, people have been doing this for thousands of years. I mean, there's records in the Bible, if you believe in those myths, of people making medicines just like this. Alright. So first of all, you want to prep everything. So this is ethanol, 95%, which is medical grade. You can get it from a chemist. Okay, now you just put that in the freezer. You can see that it's been in the freezer for a while. That's just ice on the outside because it's pretty cold. Alright, so put that in the freezer overnight. Now, the best thing to use is buds, alright, to make medicines from. I mean, if you want to make cheap medicine, who wants cheap medicine? Yeah, nobody, because this is about healing, alright? So we start at top shelf. So they call this one Super Lemon Haze. Alright, just opening the bag, I can smell the lemons. So I'm only going to use a little bit because it's expensive, and also, it's just a demo, I just want to show you what to do, okay? So we just get a whole heap of little buds like this.
Been in the freezer?
They've been in the freezer as well. So I'm just going to break them up. I should have a table to do this on, but it hasn't been organised, so here we are. Anyway, that's close enough to broken up. Alright?
You would normally chop them up, break them up?
Normally, you know, if you want to smoke it, you just chop it up to the same consistency. If you don't know about that, well, we will say grind it up like you would grind up coffee beans. Okay?
Parsley.
Not totally like powder, but nice little granules of coffee, okay? So that you can see is a bit too big, but we're just going to go with it anyway. So now, freezing cold buds, freezing cold ethanol, mix them together. You don't need, just like you're cooking rice, just a little bit over the top is fine. Yes, thank you. put the lid on, and all you've got to do is shake it a minute for about 3 minutes. Now, the reason why we do all this... Uh-oh, I'm falling apart. The reason why we do all this... Yes, please.
Shaken, not stirred, eh?
You can see the colour starting to make the alcohol a nice goldy colour. The reason why we freeze it is because when you freeze it, you slow down as you lower the temperatures to, say, about -20, which is about what most freezers will do. You slow the chlorophylls, plant waxes, you slow them down to go into the alcohol, but you speed up the time it takes for cannabinoids, terpenoids and flavonoids to go in, and they're the things that we want. We want a whole plant extract.
Is this the winter freeze method?
It's called a quick coal wash. It was developed by myself and another guy called James Francis, who's an actual chemist, professional, and we actually designed this to teach you guys, because you can't hurt yourself. This is perfectly safe to do, alright? And that's why we did it.
It is inflammable.
But we're not going to do anything about that. We're not going to heat this, alright? And the reason why we're not going to heat it is because we don't want to hurt ourselves, and also because we want to make an extract as clean and as pure as possible, fresh from the plant. Because fresh is best, right? That's what all herbalists will tell you.
And you're not smoking at this time?
Well, if you want to get the alcohol out, that's pretty simple. Just pop it in the sun.
It'll evaporate.
And it'll evaporate. Alright, where are we? Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll go with that, right?
So people tell
If
you...
we were doing this, if I was doing this at home, I'd have ground them up a lot more, and also I would go for the full 3 minutes. We're not going to go for the full 3 minutes now because the temperature has already risen a bit because of the delay. Okay, so I'm going to just pour it out earlier.
Pour it into here.
Yep. No. This one first. Yes, this one first. Get rid of that rice. Alright, so you just need a capture bowl and just a normal kitchen scale, strainer. Pour the whole lot through there. It's pretty simple. Alright, and now... Yep. And now we're just going to...
This is pretty much how the government will be making your medicine.
We're just going to pour that now through a coffee filter paper. Okay, you might be able to see the colour of it going in. Don't let me put it over the top. Alright, just leave that for a moment.
So people say only a few minutes, or you start extracting too much chlorophyll,
That's
too much
right.
other stuff.
And
Like distilling it, is it more purer? Is that why?
yeah, this is much
The
better.
longer you wait,
This
the
is
greener
much
it
better.
gets. And you don't want it to get green.
Yeah, the green is chlorophyll, and chlorophyll is a pigment. Alright, it's got a lot of medical benefits, but the problem with it getting it in there is that when you concentrate it, when you evaporate the alcohol out, then you're concentrating the pigments, and that can cause tummy problems when you eat it, and it can give you a sore throat, make you a bit nauseous. So we get them out, and we don't have those problems. Alright? Pour the rest in now? Cool. Yeah, just pull that back down there. That's just a coffee filter, normal coffee filter paper. You can just buy down the road. It's unbleached one. Okay, you can get they're available. I prefer to use unbleached ones, but you can use bleached if you want. You can just make the ethanol. I've got a still outside. I'll show you how to make it. It's really easy to do.
Otherwise, where do you get it?
Something like that.
Well, that would work, but it's only about maybe 40% ethanol at the most. So 60% of it is water in the bottle. Alright, so if you get your Bacardi 141 and whack that into the still, you get rid of that 60%. Okay? And that's a simple way of doing it. Just go up, buy some vodka or Bacardi, whatever, whack it all into the still, put your still on, and you got the real deal coming out there at 95% at least. You know, you can get up to 100, but it's really difficult to do and not really worth it. 95% is great.
What do you find an effect comparison between smoking, eating, or extracting this way?
Well, it's all about application, okay? Different applications for different ailments. Okay, so headache, eating it's not much good. It takes 20 minutes to come on. You don't want to be waiting around 20 minutes, okay? So use an atomizer, all right, or some sublingual tincture. So what we've got, where's that thing there? Oh, yeah, just pass it up. So what we've got there now, yeah, you can see the colour of that. Can you see the colour of that? Okay, that's a nice sort of lemony colour, isn't it? Okay, yeah. So that is cannabis tincture, and that's called a full strength tincture because that's what it comes off straight off the plant. Okay. Now, if we want to make that stronger, say double strength, we evaporate half the alcohol out, and then we've got double strength. Triple strength, obviously 2/3 out, and you just do that with a mark on the bottle, you know, like a band-aid or a bit of sticky tape where the line is and where it evaporates down to.
You said put it in the sun, so the lid would be off and you'd have some cloth over the top of it or something?
Yeah, you don't want any dust in there and stuff like that, right? That in the sun. There's another way of doing it if there's no sun, and that is to use a fan, and you just blow air straight over the top of it, all right, and it acts like a vacuum cleaner. As the air is blown away from it, which is full of alcohol, more air is sucked in. As it gets sucked in, it grabs more alcohol, and it just becomes like a little vacuum cleaner, just taking all the alcohol out really quickly. All right, so, but really quickly is like, you know, still 10 hours. How much of that you would take? That is recommended, full strength is recommended, 1 to 10 mils every hour as required. All right. When you triple strength, you start getting down to drops instead of mils. Okay?
So the stronger it is.
You don't drink it straight. You always mix it with something, juice, water, whatever.
I usually put a few drops of water in my alcohol before it evaporates. Do you do that?
Yes, if you're using heat to evaporate it, but not if you're using a fan or yeah, or sunshine. Okay.
For headaches, is it?
Okay, the applications, yeah. So, sublingual tincture goes into your blood really fast, under your tongue, in through your sublinguals and straight to your brain. Okay? And that gives you relief from your headache within moments, not minutes, moments. Alright? And that's very good because you drop one drop under your tongue, oh, the headache's nearly gone, oh yeah, now it's gone. Or, no, I need 2 drops. Okay? So that's very good for that. Now, the disadvantages of these fast methods of application is that, you know, you can only fit so much in at a time. Your sublinguals can only take so much before they'll burn out. Okay? So that means it's not going to last very long because it's a small amount that we're getting in there. If you want to eat large amounts to kill cancer, you should eat it. Okay? This is only for acute conditions like headaches, seizures, things that you want stopped now. All right? Cancer, sure, we want that stopped now, but you can't drink enough of this. You need to actually start eating the pure concentrate. So how do you do that? Well, you evaporate this right out and you're left with the pure concentrate. And then you can eat that. Okay? Now, yeah. That's really up to you. And, you know, some strains like this one, Super Lemon Haze, has got a really nice flavour. A lot of people just like having a little drop under their tongue and they can suck it all day and it's not a drama. But you try the CBD one, which is lots of beta-carotene, and that's the black pepper, and that under your tongue, ouch, doesn't last long before you want to swallow it. So yeah, it's all, you know, but some people love black pepper, all right, and they can handle it under the tongue and then, oh yeah, that's great. Okay, so it's all personal choice, personal preference as to whether you want to swallow it or leave it under your tongue. If you leave it under your tongue, it will get in quicker, but it takes a long time to dissolve, so it still works out to about 20 minutes. All right. Okay. So. Yes, well, that's another thing too. You know, we all know alcohol causes cancer. Yeah, we all know that. So. That's the reason why you don't want to try and take a cannabis tincture to kill cancer, all right? Because you've got to take too much of it, and by the time you take too much of it, you're actually adding to the cancer by having so much alcohol.
Evaporate it off.
Yeah, evaporate it off, and it's not drama. When you evaporate it off, there might be a little tiny bit left in, but that's not going to hurt you, and it's not going to cause any problems because it's such a small amount. Yes, good question. Depending on your own tolerance, if you smoke regularly every day, then about a drop. Okay? If you've never smoked in your life, then about a piece about the size of a pinhead. Okay? And you'd want to have that 3 times a day with your meals, and then a double pinhead before bed. Do that for about 3 or 4 days until your body gets used to it. Once your body gets used to it, you can double everything. Until you get up to about drop sizes, and then just increase by a drop every time.
Start low, go slow.
Right.
That's the idea. It can't always be achieved because when you're facing cancers, whatever, you know. Can I help?
Have you ever got to evaporated it all?
Yeah.
So all you're left with is the tar.
Yeah.
And you distill the tar to make it tender, or to make it heaps more potent.
You can.
You can?
You can.
Okay.
It's not that difficult, really. And there are lots of new methods and lots of machines out today on the market that you can buy that will do it for you. But simply adding, basifying this, bringing this down to about pH 4 by adding something to it really acidic like citric acid. Yeah, keep doing that until it goes to pH 4, and when it gets to about pH 4, the THC, that's tincture, and mix that with water, right? And then when the water gets to pH 4, the cannabinoids, THC in particular, will dissolve into the water, and then you just continue to dissolve as much as you can into the water and get it all in there, and then basify the solution, basify the water by, strain it out, yeah, and then basify it by adding bicarb. That'll be fine. That'll make it really back up to neutral, back up to 7 pH, and by that time the water will start raining pure THC, and it doesn't mix with water at that pH. So then you just kind of pour the water off, but you've got to leave it sit for about an hour or so until it all, because it's very, very fine. It's like rain, like mist even. And then it'll fall there, very small crystals, and they'll fall right down to the bottom. And then just pour the water off and you've got your pure THC, but,
So I just want to emphasise that ethanol is totally poisonous, so you've got to be really careful with it. And most people I know using this will get virtually all the ethanol out. If you take the whole lot out, you've got to scrape it off the bottom. But you can have a tiny bit so it's liquid, and then you mix that. And a lot of people mix it with hemp seed oil because it's good for you anyway, or you can put it in juice or whatever. But the ethanol is super poisonous. So I should let everyone have a break.
Okay.
And you're going to go
outside.
He's going to do demonstrations under the tree out there, and other machinery and other extraction methods. and she's going to be doing juice extraction also with Ray.
Yeah.
So everyone should have a break, get something to eat.
And then you can meet me under the tree over there, and we'll be doing the extraction. I'll show you how to do plenty of different ones. We've got CO2 machine over there. Thank you.
That's the way.
Thank you.
That's the way. Just everyone knows what you're on about and you can go. And there'll be certain people who come in and want to talk to you for ages.
Yeah. I know.
Thanks.
I've done every one of these, remember?
Yeah. I need to get them.
Yes?
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway, like a lazy ocean hugs the shore.